I'm Nesyto-Freske. I'm a certified yoga instructor and a therapeutic yoga instructor as well. I am the owner of Journey Yoga in Dixon, Illinois. Today is going to be part one of a several-part series of working with the feet. Many students of mine come in with different complaints with their feet. Sometimes they wear orthotics, sometimes they don't. They have pain, they've had plantar fasciitis, different issues, bunions. And by learning a few simple movements of the feet, they've learned to create space and to create a lot of ease in their feet, and they become very quickly pain-free. So all you're going to need to do today's practice is a chair. You are going to need a towel and a tennis ball. And I'm going to turn my chair sideways so you can see my foot movements easier. Okay, it's not so much you have to be concerned about what's happening in my upper body, it's what's happening down here. So start by sitting forward in your chair so you're not sitting back, resting against the back of the chair. Allow your pelvis to roll forward. You want to find your sit bones and be on the bottom of your feet. Your ankles are in line with your knees, so your feet aren't forward, you're not hugging the rung of your seat, your feet are just flat on the floor. If your feet don't reach comfortably to the floor, feel free to put something underneath, a book or the towel that you were going to be using, or a blanket. So the first exercise we'll start with is just some simple movement of the ankle. So extend one foot out. The knee is straight, and I'm resting on my heel. And you're just going to start by moving at the ankle, pointing and flexing the toes. Now you may notice as you're doing this that your knee is moving. I'm not going to demonstrate this. You may have some knee movement. If that's the case, lift your heel up off the floor a little bit and just notice how you can move your ankle without the knee getting involved. And you may need to do the exercise this way. If it's more comfortable and stable for you to hold on to the chair, feel free to hold on to the chair. Just make sure you're not clenching your jaw. Make sure you're not tight in the shoulders or in the belly. And after a few of these movements, what you're going to do is you're going to, as you point your foot away, you're going to squeeze your toes like you're making a fist. And then as you move your ankle and your toes back towards your shin, you're going to spread the toes wide. And then inhale as you move the toes away and you clench the toes. And then exhale as the toes come back towards the shin and you spread your toes. And then do that a few more times, working with your breath. If this is painful for you, don't make the movement so hard. Maybe you can only curl your toes like this. Maybe you can only spread your toes a little bit. Work with what's available. One more. And then if your foot was raised, lower the heel and just pause, and then bring the foot back in and notice. Pay attention to whether or not you were clenching your jaw, you were tight in the shoulders or in the belly, or if your back is uncomfortable. You may need to readjust yourself. So let's move on to the other side now. The other leg extends out, resting on the heel if that works, and just start by moving at the ankle. Very simple movement. The knee is quiet, so if you need to lift your heel, lift your heel. And then as you point your toes away, squeeze your toes like a fist, making a fist. And then as your toes come back towards your shin, you spread your toes wide. Inhale, squeeze the toes. Exhale, spread the toes. Do that a few more times. Again, the movement's happening at the ankle. Good. Then after your next one, lower your heel, pause, And then bring your foot back in, and then notice how this feels. Again, noticing, were you clenching in your jaw? Were you tense in your shoulders? Were you holding your breath? Now you're going to take your towel. I'm going to turn my chair forward now. Now take your towel and you're going to place it on the floor in front of you. And your feet go on the towel. And again, sitting in the same position. Now using just your toes, you're going to gather the towel underneath your arches. Don't worry about how much you get underneath. It's the movement. So you're taking your toes, you're grabbing the towel, and you're dragging it underneath your arches. You can even do this standing. I generally teach my students to do this while sitting. And don't worry if the towel slides away from you, that's fine. Again, make sure you're breathing, make sure you're not clenching your jaw, you're not tensing the shoulders. Good, a few more times. If you're getting cramping in the feet or in the legs, make sure you're breathing. You're not getting enough oxygen in the feet, so breathe. Good. And then pause, again, noticing your feet. And then you move the towel to the side. And the next one, you're going to come up to standing. And if balance is an issue for you, feel free to use your chair to hold on to. Okay? So you're going to start out by lifting and lowering your heels. Just do this, just lift a little bit initially. Inhale as you lift up, exhale as you lower down. And as you gain your sea legs, in other words, your balance, make sure that all 5 of the ball joints of both feet are on the floor. Initially, there may be some wobbliness in the foot, but as you continue, you want to make sure that all 5 ball joints are connecting. Another thing you want to avoid is getting this rocking momentum going. Okay, you don't want momentum to cause the movement. You want your muscles, your feet, your ankles, your legs to do the work. So it's just a gentle lifting and lowering. If your balance is good and you have the ability, you can lift your heels higher, but that's not important. Your breath is important. Maintaining the connection of the 5 points of the feet is important. Good. Couple more. Moving at your own pace. Good. And then now pause here and again notice how your feet feel. And then the last movement we're going to do today is with the tennis ball. So you take the tennis ball underneath one foot, and again a chair or a wall if you have balance issues, and you place the ball under one foot starting at the heel. Whoops. You may need a yoga mat or something underneath if your floor is slippery. And you're just going to roll. You're going to put some weight into the ball, but not enough weight as though you're trying to bust the ball, okay? Go around your toes, back and forth, up and down. If you happen to notice a particularly tender spot, just pause there for a moment and breathe. About 1 to 2 minutes on each foot is fine, and then move to the other side. Move the ball over to the other foot, and again, make sure your breath is easy, you're not clenching your jaw. Notice where you're holding tension in your body. And roll the foot on the ball, putting pressure on there, but again, you're not trying to break the ball. Pausing at those places that seem a little bit tender. Get curious about that. And then after you've done this side for a minute or two, just move the ball out of the way. And then you want to do some movement now. So again, do some lifting and lowering of the heels, making this easy. Inhale as you go up, exhale as you lower. And then I would suggest now that you have a little walk around and notice what your feet feel like. Notice if you have more sensation in your feet. Notice if there's some tingling going on. Hopefully you're not experiencing any pain. If you are, maybe you've just done too much, and next time you do this, back off a little bit. Work with what your ability is. Allow your breath to be smooth and soft and easy. No tension in the jaw, no tension in the shoulders, the back, the belly. And I'll see you next time. Enjoy. Namaste.